military show here in Pomona, California. This is the Los Angeles County Fairgrounds, and they have a beautiful Sheraton hotel here that's set up right at the entrance to the show. So it's really convenient, and you can come out and smoke a cigar. Got beautiful palm trees, lots of flowers all over the place. They have a nice all-you-can-eat breakfast every morning that's included with the room. So it's a good place to stay, and very, very enjoyable. You just can't beat the weather out here in California. So we're looking forward to finding some things inside the show. So let's take a walk in there and see what it looks like. Stopped by a table here in the show, and there's a very interesting Imperial Naval Tunic that's here. It would be probably an administrative person. That's why it has all silver buttons and insignia, as opposed to the gold, which is a normal line officer. And see what a nice cut it has and all too. It's almost like a vest. Really a beautiful, well-made jacket. The different markings that I guess tie in with the Imperial Navy, also known as the Kaiserliche. I'm not sure what the stripes designate. It's probably a petty officer rank, but I'm not sure. See the Imperial crown over the anchor? You know, that designates the Imperial time. With the Kaiser was officially head of the Navy, so therefore the Imperial crown was used over the anchor. That was not the case on a lot of the Army swords. So a nice thing. We'll maybe try to find who owns this and see if we can get a price on it. You might see it on my internet site. Oh, we found another interesting uniform walking down the aisles here. You'll see that this uniform is with a fireman's helmet, and that's because it's a fireman's uniform. But it's a little better than that, because it's actually a officer rank. He would have been a first lieutenant in the fire department, coming from the city of Magdeburg. The fire insignia usually put the city along with it. And notice the beautiful pink piping, and if you collect firemen's bayonets, you'll remember that on the throttle that goes with the bayonet, it's also pink piped. So, nice complete outfit. We got here, it's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 button tunic. 4-pocket job. Very nice condition. And then the helmet, it's the early type that has the comb on the top, and these are usually double decal. See, that's the fire police insignia on the one side. Then on the other is the national colors. It's got a good liner in it. Shows a little bit of usage, but not too bad. Pretty nice outfit here. All right, we're down here at another very interesting booth, and this man has a sign here, a street sign. You can see it's from the Wilhelm Strasse. Now, you collectors may remember that with the DAF, they sponsored vacation trips for the German workers that belonged to that union. And as part of the vacation trips, they had two passenger ships. One was the Robert Ley, and the other one was the Wilhelm Gustloff. And what happened at the end of the war, they were moving a lot of people. I think there was about 10,000 people from areas where they were in danger of being killed in bombs in Germany. They were going to move them further north. And a Russian ship came along and torpedoed the Wilhelm Gustloff. It was the greatest human loss that's ever occurred. The Titanic was nothing compared to the amount of innocent people that were killed on this ship. So it's kind of an interesting street sign for you history buffs out there. Not too many people know about that kind of stuff. There's some other great things here at this display too. What caught my eye here is a number of Adolf Hitler flatware pieces. And if you look, you can see there's a bouillon spoon and like a small demi-tasse fork, a salad fork, but the salad fork is in the informal pattern, not the formal. And then a couple of standard dinner forks. But see the informal pattern, notice how the eagle almost looks like the surface has been buffed because it's plain as compared to the relief that's on the formal pattern. These informal pieces were used for luncheon service at the Berghof and breakfast. The high relief formal pattern was saved for the state occasion. And we think there was probably about 3,000 of the formal pieces that were produced during the period, but the informal is a lot less, maybe about 700 or 800. So it should sell for 3 or 4 times what the formal pattern sells for, but it doesn't because people don't understand yet what it really was and what it represented, and it doesn't have the great wow to the look of the pattern because it's much plainer. So these, in my opinion, if you can find the informal pattern that's cheap, I just don't see how you can go wrong as a very good investment for the future. Hitler silverware has been steadily moving up over the years, and in the last year or so, there's a great book that's come out on silverware by James Yanis, and that has literally skyrocketed the interest in Hitler and party silverware. And even though formal pieces are selling in the $1,400, $1,500, $1,600 range, I'll bet you in a couple of years you'll start to see prices of $2,500. So to me, if you're looking to build up a K1 or something for your retirement, you got a few bucks, you buy these pieces, stash them in a safe deposit box, how you gonna go wrong? You can't. Hey, we're over here at the stand of the famous Bruce Herman. Everybody knows him from the Antique Roadshow, I would think. How are you, Bruce?
I'm good. How are you?
You're looking good, buddy.
Thank you.
Yeah, is the business still good?
It's good. I won't lie and say it's as good as it was before the crash.
No, it isn't.
No, but it's still good.
Hanging in there, yeah.
It's working for a living.
Yeah. I see you have a decent sword here.
Yeah.
It's I think this is a Scharnhorst model. It's got about 100% of the gilt on it. And even if that's not nice enough, this one will really get you collectors. Wow, look at that double-etched antique blade. My goodness. Where'd this come from, Bruce?
Came out of a local collection. I bought a uniform collection, and a fellow had some swords. I'm not typically a blades dealer, but it's too nice to pass up.
Oh yeah, it's really a beauty. I see you got some great headgear here too.
Yeah.
Is that your forte? Or?
Primarily headgear, uniforms, insignia, anything to do with the actual attire worn by a soldier.
I see, yeah.
That's what I specialize in. But as any dealer does, you run across other items.
Yeah. But you know what's odd though, you sort of have to take what you can get, but everything you have is in such great condition.
Well, I try to buy for my customers as I would try for myself.
That's the way to do it.
I have certain standards that I don't like to go below. And if it's, I was offered a beautiful hat yesterday, but the lining was really rough and cracked and torn, so I passed on it.
You hear that, collectors? See, this is the way you should collect. If something's got dents and dings in it, you buy it, you put it away for 25 years, you get it out again, it's still got dents and dings in it, and nobody wants that.
Well, I learned many years ago from an old collector, he really drilled into my head, it's not quantity, it's quality.
Quality, yeah.
It's better to have a collection of 15 things than a bunch of junk. 150, 15 really beautiful items, and your investment will always come back from that.
Yeah, that's the way to do it.
Exactly.
That does it. I mean, you see stuff like this, collectors. Look at the condition of this beautiful army cap. What does the green piping mean, Bruce?
It's administrative. That would be an officer in the War Ministry or one of the administrative offices. But it's in magnificent condition.
I see it's got a terrible lining inside too. Whoa, look at that.
That's a
Isn't that
Procuro.
amazing, collectors? Wow.
What's
Procuro? That's the name of the company
Yeah,
that made
it's a higher grade cap as well. The Procuro caps typically have the black velvet around the edge.
See that? See that, collectors? I never noticed that. That is a nice touch.
A regular, again, a beautiful quality cap, but it doesn't have the black velvet. It's just a little extra fancier, wore on the head a little bit nicer.
Did that save the leather from the sweatband leather from coming apart like it does so much?
Yeah, they run out from the hair oil and so forth, and this protected it. It also made it a little more comfortable for the wearer's
I
head.
can imagine. Wow, you taught me something there. I never knew that. That's
We're never too old to learn.
That's right, and I'm too old, I'll tell you. Yeah, that's great. What's this down here? It's an odd eagle. It's veterans, is it?
It's a Veterans Association. World War I veterans, but they were brought into the Third Reich sphere of operations, so everything then took the swastika.
You had to make them feel good and include them and stuff. So
exactly.
And how about this? This is strange. What is that? A postal?
Yeah, that's a postal official.
You know, there must have been a hell of a lot of postmen, but you don't see too many hats, do you?
You really don't.
I don't remember seeing many.
They don't turn up too often.
Yeah.
But everybody got a uniform.
What do these go for? Not too expensive, I guess.
That's probably about $300.
$300,
They're pretty reasonable still.
Even in that condition. See that, collectors? You can get something that's absolutely mint like that. Even though it's just a postman, still, for $300?
That looks great.
What a beautiful thing. Yeah, on your shelf. Fantastic. Well, as usual, Bruce, it's really great to see you. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
We love what you do. You're good for the hobby.
Well, your videos are great. You know, they kind of expose what's going on here.
Well, collectors like it. They want to see what's going on all over, and what the heck. It doesn't cost anything to do them, so easy.
Yeah, it's fine.
Hi, we're at Giorgio Spadoro's booth here. He's an Italian collector, and he does come from Italy, and you always catch him at the West Coast show here, and usually the Max and the SOS too, but he has some interesting Italian daggers for those of you out there that don't just have to have German. On the end here is the 1939 model MSVN, or 37 model, I believe, with a leather strap. It had the aluminum hilt. This one has a porta-pee. You'll see the other model, the 37 or the 39, that has a chain hanger instead of leather straps. And the M on the hanger, guess who that stands for? You're right, Mussolini. And then further down, there's a dagger here with a black Bakelite handle with a lion pommel on the top. That's from the San Marco Marines, which was an elite Italian unit. A very desirable piece. And then next to that is a piece that was made for the Italian colonial forces in Africa. It's actually associated with the police. It has the Italian eagle from the royal family because the police would have been under the control of the royal family, not necessarily Mussolini. It does come from the 1930s. So some interesting things that you wouldn't necessarily see it at most shows. You never know what you're going to run into. We stopped at another display here that really interesting. This is what you call trench art. These pieces are all made from artillery shells. Usually you see a lot of it during World War I, and there was not necessarily much to do while you were sitting in a trench for a couple of weeks. So there were people that were craftsmen, and they devised all kinds of themes to make items out of artillery shells, which of course were quite plentiful at the time. But if you just look at some of the beautiful designs, it's really amazing. A lot of times you see mostly military themes, but even on there's flowers, birds, other things too. Here's one that's got a sharp edge on the top where it flares out. Anything the mind could think of is there. Here's a guy that made a little lantern out of an artillery shell. And here's a good usage, a nice little ashtray. Kind of small for a cigar maybe, but work well for a cigarette. And it's got some engraving on it here that ties it in with the unit that the man was in during the war. Some really interesting things. Here the guy just saved the whole bullet, everything. I'm not sure, that looks like some type of insignia of the regiment he was with, I don't know. Hope it's not live. So there's really something for everybody at these shows. Even the girls, you never know. Maybe the girls will get interested in trench art. It's just so beautiful and delicate.